extraordinary about this post that we've gotten from the president. Until now, we did not understand that the U.S. and Iran were speaking at all over the course of this now 3-week-long conflict. Now the president says that these conversations are underway. And so you can start to see and start to envision how potentially there is a diplomatic route to de-escalation that we did not know of until, 10 minutes ago before the president was posting this. And I'll read you a little bit of what he said. He said he's pleased to report that the United States, the country of Iran, have had over the last 2 days very good and productive conversations regarding a complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East. The president goes on to say that based on the tenor and tone of these in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversations, which will continue throughout the week, I've instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for a 5-day period, subject to the success of the ongoing meetings and discussions. So you do see the president opening the window of this ultimatum that he had set on Iran, that he would strike power plants in that country if it did not reopen that very critical Strait of Hormuz, where all those energy tankers are waiting to go through. It's causing the price of oil to spike. Iran had threatened very severe retaliation, not only on energy strikes, but also on facilities in the Gulf. Now, some big questions remain, namely who the U.S. is talking to, because remember, the president had said that the Iranian leaders that he thought he could work with had been killed. Now he says that those conversations are ongoing and, according to him, very fruitful. And so very significant development, I think, this morning, and does lead you to believe that the president has, or is at least searching for something of an off-ramp here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will see what more we learn about that potential off-ramp. Kevin, really appreciate it. Thank you. Sarah?
Look at that. Oh, God. Tel Aviv. I can't believe this.
Supreme Allied Commander of NATO, Admiral James Stavridis. Thank you so much for being here. This just came in to us this morning. The president saying, look, we're having talks and they're going well. Is that a surprise to you? Because a lot of people don't realize that oftentimes, even in the midst of war, there are always sort of talks going on. But there is the issue of who is leading Iran. Apparently, they know who that is and they've been talking to them.
Well, first and foremost, let's all just say, wow, are we allowed to have some good news for at least 1 minute? And, it's going to be a roller coaster, but I think this is good news. And Sarah, you're exactly right. There's almost always kind of at least back channel conversations. I've been hearing about them from several sources. And here's what you want to watch as this roller coaster unfolds. I'll give you 3 things to watch. Number one, where are literally Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, because they are the ones who are going to be the U.S. side of this. Keep an eye on their normal counterparty, the Iranian foreign minister, still alive by all accounts. Abbas Aroghi is his name. So watch those 3. Where are they? Are they popping up, for example, in a place?
They might have had a lot to say about this to Trump in Washington, D.C.
So to quote people who are living in UAE, it's the best news that they have heard since 28th of February. That's the first reaction that I got after touching base with those who are in Abu Dhabi, those who are in Dubai. The reactions are similar, of relief in other Gulf countries as well. Qatar has already declared, return to office. I think there must be some indication given, because these Gulf countries...
Target damaged. Target destroyed.
I've been carrying on back channel, negotiations with both Iran as well as United States of America, because they were suffering the most. And UAE, just if you take into account more than 1,700 plus UAVs, more than 350 cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, at least 15 of them, UAE had been singled out by Iran for its action. And UAE has now declared that its amusement parks, for example, the Yas Island amusement park in Abu Dhabi, that is also welcoming in visitors. So it is utilizing this comment, this post, social media post from Donald Trump to reassure visitors to come back and reaffirm their faith in UAE. Targeting of the desalination plant, which Iran was threatening to do if after the deadline ended, US continued to target its infrastructure. That would have been a real problem for Gulf, because they all depend on these desalination plants for their drinking water facilities. Also, one important point is that the weather condition in UAE has been adverse for the last 3 days. So already facing the drone attacks, the threat of missiles, plus adverse weather condition and the sense of uncertainty, life was tough for them. And this 5-day moratorium, like I said, best thing that they have heard in a long, long time.
Right, absolutely. Arunama, do stay on with us. Sanjay also with us. Sanjay, a big statement coming in from Washington. At the same time, when the